Hello. You know, I thought I would give Shatterline a try, which is like I actually think I'm not sure how new it is, but I know recently loads of people were talking about it. So I wanted to try it. So it's like your typical arena shooter, but it's like there's a hero system to it, and obviously each hero has like unique abilities. Obviously, the thing with it though is the abilities are on super long cooldowns though. So it's basically just a regular arena shooter with the occasional ability usage, which I guess is fine if that's what they're going for. Honestly, I quite like the system because I think a lot of the time, a lot of hero shooters are let down by the fact that the abilities end up being like the only actual strong component of the game whatsoever. And then people end up just like having like the most dog shit mechanics ever, but it doesn't matter because they press their ability usage well, or their hero that they pick is just overpowered. So I don't mind the abilities being on longer cooldowns, because then obviously it incentivizes people to be more actually mechanically skillful and obviously position themselves better and things like that. So I think this way it makes the game more skillful, especially because then your ability usage will be obviously more important, and how well it's used. You can just like spam it out constantly. So I think that's pretty good about the game. One thing that is a little bit annoying about the game though is the time to kill. Now I don't think it's a lot of people were saying the time to kill is actually very slow. Some people said it's very fast. So some people don't really like it. There's not really a general consensus on it on whether people think it's slow or fast or not. I think I would like to be killing people in like a bullet faster kinda, because there's times where you hit people like 6 or 7 times and then they kill you and they've got like 35 HP left. So I mean, it can be like a little annoying to hit someone like a shitload of times and then they're just totally fine afterwards. So it would be nicer if the time to kill was a little bit faster. Another thing that's kind of weird is their tier system for how you unlock weapons. I'm not actually entirely sure how it works. I think it's just a level thing where after you've gathered enough XP and your level is high enough, you unlock the next tier of weapons, which are just like basically the original weapons but like way better. I mean, not necessarily way better. I mean, I guess it kind of depends. They're relatively balanced-ish, but they're definitely, as the tiers go up, they're definitely better. So you get an advantage the more you play, which is a little weird, but I mean, it's your typical like gameplay cycle where they just want you to play until you get all the unlocks, and then by the time you got all the unlocks, you're basically addicted to the game anyway, so you just keep queuing regardless. Another thing is the way you earn currency is like really boring. I'm not gonna lie. Basically the only way to actually kind of gain currency is doing like battle pass objective kind of things, and they're like typical, like just like making people go out of their way to do weird shit. It's like get 10 kills on this map as this person, or get 15 kills with this gadget, and it's like, that shit's really boring. Like very little of it you're just going to be doing naturally in game. Like you have to actually go out of your way physically to try and complete most of the actual objectives, which is I think not a very good way to do it. I think it's pretty boring, but I guess I can see why people would like it, having a more objective based system on how you would unlock things further in the game. Because I don't know, maybe like at some point people want to like, people may think, oh, it's too easy to get all the unlocks. I'm just playing the game and I'm getting everything. I actually really enjoyed my time playing this game. I have like an hour and a half, 2 hours ish on the game, which is not a lot of time to be saying whether or not I like the game. But other than the time to kill and the ability usage, it's pretty fun. I mean, the movement is a little bit clunky. The sound design is nice. I like the weapon sounds. They're very easy to pick apart from each other, so it's really easy to tell who is using what, which I think is actually really useful in a game like this, because it helps you pick your engagements a little bit better. So I think the sound design is nice. The ability usage in general is relatively unique, and it's pretty good. The gunplay is fun. I like the attachment system. Basically, the only thing I don't like about the attachment system is when you have a gun, you can only put one attachment on it, unless you spend that currency that I was talking about earlier to get additional attachments on it. Which, to me, is a little bit kind of annoying. Because if I have a gun, and then I want all 3 attachment slots on it, I have to like go out of my way to deliberately queue into games to play a certain playstyle that I might find boring in order to get that currency, to then use the gun that I want to use, because you have a massive disadvantage without attachments. Which is a little shitty, and it's a little annoying. But once you're kind of past the opening stage and you've kind of got the attachments you like, because even on like I think like the first gun's like the pacifier or something, like the first AR. It's the one I don't think I've used any other gun other than the AR. Once I got all 3 attachment slots on it, the game became like way easier. It was like it's stupid how much easier the game became, because the attachments just give us such a huge advantage, because they're pretty good. They're not like COD things where like, you know, ADS 6% faster. It's like nothing like that. It's like the attachments are aim like 30% faster, strafe 25% faster. Well, shoot, like the attachments are very significant. Like they do a lot, which whether people like or dislike is, I guess, not really up for me to decide. But I quite like the attachments being as powerful as they are, because it's going to push people to obviously want to get the attachments. But the only thing is the attachment slots in general are a little bit annoying. I'm not a huge fan of spending currency to unlock attachment slots. I think that's a little cheesy. But either way, I actually really enjoyed playing Shatterline. The game is fun, the gameplay's fun, the sound design is pretty good, and just in general, I did thoroughly enjoy playing the game. I will say the only thing that I seriously dislike is some parts of the maps, like in map design wise, it's like if you're holding a certain spot, you're like basically invincible, because like every angle you take is like a head glitch. I don't know what map it is. There's like a castle map, it's at like nighttime, and if you go one of the classes with high climber, which is like an ability where you get to climb like certain things, so not everyone can do it, but there's like arrows on the wall, and when you run up to them with a high climber class, you can climb up the wall and get to like obviously spots that other people can't get to. And there's certain spots on certain maps where it's really difficult to get to those places unless you're a high climber, and if you do have high climb, it's insanely easy to get there, but they're crazy powerful spots. I don't actually have any footage of me playing the game initially. I just jumped on to get some more footage for this video, but I was sitting in a spot, and I went like 15-3 because I was just sitting on a spot overlooking one of the spawns, just deleting everything, and they couldn't kill me because the spot was so OP, which is like a little annoying. That reminds me, the spawns in this game aren't very good at all. Like there's like a hero or whatever you want to call him, an operator, where what he does is he puts like a mine on the floor, and if you run into it, it encases you in like a red spike thing that you have to shoot your way out of, and it does damage to you over time. People don't really use that the way you would expect them to. They just run up to the common spawns and then throw it down on the spawns. So when people spawn in, they spawn into the ability, and then by the time they break their way out, they're like 40 health, and they can just like fly around the corner and one-tap them basically. And it's a really fucking cheesy way to play. It's really annoying. It's super easy to manipulate spawns in this game, which is like one of the ways I get like super high KD games, is because I just manipulate the fuck out of the spawns and just farm people as they spawn in. So other than like those few points, the game is actually a lot of fun once you really kind of get into it. There are very little arena shooters that kind of hold my attention for very long, because typically they're either extremely easy, because obviously you know, my aim is a little bit above average, so obviously I have an advantage, especially in terms of like just raw mechanical games, like for example, like if I'm playing COD, I'll just farm people in multiplayer lobbies, and it's kind of boring, but it's also not so easy to where it's very boring. Like unless you're getting like, it's also one of those games where if someone starts shooting you first, you can turn on people and win the fight. Obviously it's very hard, but it's definitely possible, which is really nice. I'm actually kind of a fan of the time to kill. Other than killing slightly slow, other than that, the time to kill is really nice, because it gives you a chance to actually turn on people and fight them, which is fun. But anyway, that's been me playing Shatterline a little bit. I mean, I'll probably play more of this game because the game's actually really fun. Anyway, that was me playing Shatterline and talking about it a little bit. I love all of you, like, very dearly.